This is the best experience farm in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. It can give you 50 levels in about 40 seconds or spawn over 1,500 mobs per minute. This Silverfish farm is going to be the only XP farm that you'll ever need again. It's better than a Guardian farm, a gold farm, or really anything else that you might already have built. And the best part is, it is extremely simple and easy to build. So Minecraft 1.21 introduced 4 new potions, one of which is the Infested potion, meaning that anytime a mob takes damage, they have a chance to spawn in some silverfish. So all you need is a very bare bones setup like this right here. We can press the button. That's going to start damaging our allays. And because they have the infestation effect, yeah, we just get a ton of silverfish. And it's the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. Whenever you feel like you have enough mobs, you can simply go ahead and turn off the build, and then we can kill all these guys using a potion. So as you can see, we have an absurd amount of silverfish in here. We throw one harming potion, all of those guys die, and then we get instant experience and the boatloads. We just got 44 levels instantly, and we barely even ran the farm at all. If you let the farm run for 40 seconds, that is going to give you enough silverfish to give you 50 levels. And if you let the farm run for a full minute, that is going to give you over 1,500 mobs and 57 levels. Now, as you can see, there's a little bit of lag when you use this farm if you do it incorrectly. So I'll be showing you some ways to make sure that you don't accidentally kill your entire Minecraft world. But look how satisfying this is. I mean, come on now. Now, the reason why we're using allays for this is because they naturally regenerate over time. However, on Bedrock Edition, they cannot survive in fire or in campfires indefinitely. They will die. As you can see, the allays are not completely immune. They can die. I think that this is a bug because they survive in fire indefinitely on Java Edition. So this is the most bare bones system that you're really going to get with no safety systems at all. It's going to rely on you to not kill the allays and not kill your world with silverfish. I've engineered a little bit of messy redstone that is incredibly easy and simple to build. So we have a timer on and off switch. This makes sure that the farm only runs for about a minute, giving your allays time to heal themselves so they don't die. We have a switch just for the potions, and then we also have an emergency off switch to stop the lag, and another emergency kill switch that will get rid of all of your silverfish. Not to scare you or anything, but this is what your world looks like without any safety switches, okay? It's just not a good thing. Even with a very good computer, you can start to lag out, so install the safety switches. And just for the lulz, I want to show you this because, honestly, it's just fun. Now, you technically could use a trident killer for this silverfish farm. However, you're going to be getting hundreds and hundreds of these things, and the trident killer just is not going to be fast enough to keep up with all that. The harming potions will instantly kill all of them at once, so you don't need to worry about it. If you do decide to use the trident killer, you're going to be sitting here for ages, and you're going to have a lot more extended periods of lag waiting for those guys to die. Now, since this build requires infestation and harming potions, you're going to want a super simple potion brewer, but luckily I got one just for you. So check out my tutorial for a simple one-touch potion brewer. You won't regret it. So a quick rundown on how you use the farm. You're going to want to splash them with the potion first and then turn it on, and then you're going to wait about 40 or 50 seconds for this to spawn all the mobs. If you get too much lag during that time, you can press the off button and it will stop spawning all the mobs immediately, or you can press the kill switch and that will kill all of them immediately as well. Either way, this thing is going to automatically turn off after about a minute and stop spawning silverfish. As you can see, it has stopped spawning. All the guys have fallen down. Now you want to open up the door. You want to walk in here, crouch. That way you don't fall over the edge. And you want to aim straight down about here and throw in your harming potion. That'll make your potion land in about the middle, and that should kill basically all of them. Usually you'll have 1 or 2 left over in the corners, but that's not really a big deal. Now, the infestation potions last for 3 minutes, so you can use this farm 3 times per infestation potion. And if you see that they stopped spawning in the middle of using it, then you can simply press the button to get some more silverfish going. And let's hop into the tutorial. All the materials that you'll need to build the basic bare bones version of the farm are right here in this chest. Of course, you're going to need multiples of the potions and the flint and steel, and all of this stuff down here is just to get the allays into the farm. If you want to build the farm with all these safety switches included, these are the materials you'll need. So you can build this farm absolutely anywhere that you want in your Minecraft world. Just make sure to build it far away from nether portals, because if you go through a nether portal within 20 blocks of your allays, they will teleport to you, and that's going to kind of break your farm and you'll have to rebuild part of it. So make sure that you build it away from nether portals. The area that you'll need to build this farm is going to be a 5x5 square, and it's going to be a total of 16 14 blocks tall. Most of that is to give the silverfish some area to fall. That way they are a one-hit kill with the potions. And as you can see, our floor is 3 blocks up from the bottom of the farm. Starting at the bottom, we're going to put a ring of solid blocks going all the way around the very edge of the farm. This will help contain all of your silverfish. And now we're going to be building up by 7 blocks with glass in all of these areas. You definitely need to fill in the corners as well to prevent these silverfish from glitching out. So that is layer 1. We need to go up by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You can build out of regular blocks if you want to. However, I'll be using glass because it's fun to be able to see inside of the farm. Now that we built up our 7 extra layers for a total of 8 tall, we're going to be putting 3 buttons on the backside right there, 1 to either side, and then 3 on the front. Now crouch and place a sign on top of that button right there. This is going to be to hold up your water a little bit later on. We need to add in another layer of blocks going around this like so. Now we're going to install the blocks that the allays actually stand on. So we're going to be having ourselves 1 piece of netherack right there. Make sure there's a block gap between this netherack and the sign. You could also use a magma block right here, or if you don't have fire spreads turned on, just any block that you can place a piece of fire on. We're also going to be placing a piece of glass to the left of this. Now place a temporary block above our piece of netherack right there. We're going to place an upper slab to every side of that block, just like so. And now go ahead and place yourself in a temporary block on the corner right here, lever on the side of it, activator rail on top of it, and then a minecart. That is going to shake the minecart, and if you get into this, it should put you right into the center. If it doesn't, remove all the other blocks that you might have in the area. Make sure it's just this bare bones structure. This minecart should put you into the center no matter what corner you build it on, but if it's giving you some issues, mine is built to the southwest of the center. As you can see from the locator map, this thing is ejecting me to the northeast into the center there. So once you know that this minecart is going to be placing you and the allays into the very center, you can go ahead and grab yourself some more temporary blocks. We need a temporary block right here. Now grab yourself a dispenser and place that facing directly downwards into our center hole right there. So now we need to get our allays in there. If you're in a solo world and you have a good NASA computer, then you can put up to 10 allays in there. That'll give you the full 1500 mobs per minute. But if you're playing on a realm or a server, you should probably only do like 2 allays. If you're playing on a potato phone, you know, 2 allays is probably a good way to go. For consoles, you might be able to get away with like 4 or 5, but again, this thing can be incredibly laggy. So maybe play it on the safe side and only put a couple of allays in here. So once you have a couple of allays, you want to give these guys some items just like this, and then throw that same item onto your minecart. They should just kind of go into the minecart and then be ejected into your little center place right here. As you can see, that's where that guy is. We're going to take his item from him. That way, this other guy, wherever he is, will eventually get into that minecart. You might have to throw these items several times. These guys are a little bit tricky, but this is the easiest way I've found to get them into the center. Allays are self-replicating, so as long as you have 1 allay in there, you can place down yourself a jukebox, a music disc of any type, and then simply feed this guy an amethyst shard, and they will replicate immediately. And then they go and cool down for a couple minutes, so you can just breed them up inside of there. You don't need to try and get a ton in there. I would recommend that you have some allays in reserve. That way, in case they do somehow die, you have a couple backups that you can put into the farm. Now that we have all of our allays installed, we can install our water. So place a water bucket in 3 of these corners, and that will flood this entire zone down here. Now we need a piston to the left and a regular piston to the right. Go ahead and fill in this layer of glass right here, and also 1 layer above it as well. That way all of your glass is at the same layer as these slabs, and now just go ahead and fill in the other 4 slabs on these corners. And now we need to place in 1 more dispenser facing into the center one. Of course, make sure that both of these are dispensers. This one right here is going to be for your potions, and this one is for your flint and steel. Now we're going to place in a block right here with a button on it, block next to that piston with a button, and then we need a block above this piston and 1 right there, piece of redstone dust, and another block right here with a button on this one. And now we're going to fill in another layer of glass blocks. These are actually important, otherwise you can have some guys glitch out of the farm. So that is the entire bare bones version of this done. Go ahead and fill in your flint and steel, fill in your infestation potions, and down here at the bottom, we're just going to break out these 2 pieces of glass, turn around and place in your door right here. I would highly recommend that you install the rest of the redstone though, otherwise you're going to have a bad time. We're going to install the switches first, so go ahead and remove your center button. We're going to place in a block right here, right above your door with a button on the underside of it. Redstone torch, block above it, redstone torch, block above that, and then a piece of redstone. That is for your infestation potions. Now for the left side, we're going to place in ourselves a couple of blocks right here. Stair step this up, remove your button, and then we need redstone dust on top of absolutely all of that, and a button on the underside of that block. And this button is to emergency turn off the farm. To turn on the farm, you're going to place in a block right here, button underneath it, redstone torch, block above it, redstone torch, block above it, piece of redstone dust, getting yourself a repeater right here going into a solid block, and you can remove those two right there. For the main timing circuit of the build, we're going to go to this piece of redstone right here, replace this block with a solid block. Now we need a redstone torch with a block above it, an upper slab off of the side of that torch with a piece of redstone dust right there. And now we need 3 droppers facing upwards right here, and 1 dropper facing towards the back of the farm. We're going to replace this piece of glass right here with a hopper, and then break out this piece of glass for a comparator. We need a solid block right here, piece of redstone dust and redstone dust. Break out these 2 blocks and place in a solid block above your piston, and then a piece of redstone on top of it. Now we need a cobweb right here on this center dropper, and now just surround the rest of this thing with some blocks of your choosing. I'm going to be using glass, that way you can see in there. And now we need to put a lower slab over top of it. Now you need to put some non-stackable items into each of these droppers. So I'd recommend just putting like 2 non-stackables into each one of these. And these items are going to be cycling through the system and getting recycled and acting as the timer. So whenever you turn on the farm, that's going to emit a piece of fire into your allays while also shooting out an item up here. Once that item falls through the cobweb, it will activate your comparator, pushing this piston right here and removing that piece of fire. That way your allays aren't taking damage and aren't producing silverfish. And now to top off the farm, you want to put a couple of hoppers going downwards into your main 2 dispensers. Place in yourself a chest for some flint and steels, and then on the front of this, you want to place in a chest full of infestation potions. Each one of these will last at least 2 to 3 runs of the farm, so you shouldn't need a ton of these. There's still the emergency kill switch to install, so for that, you're going to go beneath your little platform. You're going to break in here, and we're going to place in ourselves a dispenser with lava bucket in it in each one of these corners. You probably don't need 4, but if you have 1,000 mobs in here, you're gonna wish you had 4. So facing towards the front of the farm, we're gonna break out these blocks right here, crouch and place an observer facing that one and facing that one, and then we're gonna place an observer facing away from the farm. Break out that block in front of it and place in yourself a trapdoor. We're going to put in a couple of blocks above this right here with some redstone. And now our main lever is going to be going right here. Before you flick that, we need to place the blocks back down in the middle. So place in those blocks, the block above your observer, and the glass block. So it should just look like the standard chamber. And now if you flick this, that is going to summon in our 4 pieces of lava. And the silverfish mostly bunch up in the corners anyway, so it should kill most of them immediately. And that's all there is to it. We can go ahead and splash our guys with infestation, go ahead and turn on the farm, and we're going to be getting a ton of silverfish. And then when we decide that's way too many silverfish, we can turn it off by pressing that button. If you enjoy this insane experience farm, drop a like on the video, share it around, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.